Wow. Another day, another tariff, another scare. I took the day off of work today just because I needed a day. Need to turn up my soil, get my garden, prep it, get it ready. Weather's nice. Just doing me today. That's what I'm going to do today. But yeah, it's pretty funny, Doug Ford. Well, we'll get to him, but the Mark Carney show of him at the steel factory in Hamilton, Ontario yesterday, the interview that he gave, and I counted, he said the word 45 times, I counted, in a 5-minute speech. So today I'm going to try and use that in just about everything that I do. There's one there. So you guys try and count them if you want to count them. But Doug Ford saying, hey man, Lutnick reached out with an olive branch. Well, today it looks like there's no olives on that branch. Right? In the way that they're talking to Ford, some guy in Ontario, not even addressing him, period. Some guy in Ontario said he's going to shut off the hydro, this and that, right? What people don't understand, and this is what's going on, America's $37 trillion and counting in debt. Now, let's say I'm $37 trillion in debt, because you know what, it's not that they spent that money, they gave it away, and people stole it, okay? And they're trying to get to the bottom of it in America, right? As we see right now. Now, let's say I owe $37 trillion. That's what I'm in debt. Okay. Do you think the banks? I'm going to go to the bank and say, "Listen, you guys gave me the $37 trillion. I want more money from you guys." The bank says, "No, we can't give it to you. We're not going to do it. You know, you're a lost cause." So what I think is going on in America is that the economy's already crashed. Okay, and they're just the realization of it's coming to fruition. Okay, in the States, right? So what do we got here? I'm going to read comments after this so you guys could just keep doing it. But we got Debbie Pott. She's from Illinois. Glad to have you. So what's going on is the economy's on the verge of crashing in America. You know, you can only go on so long with printing money, and that's what's going on even in Canada. And people say, "Oh, well, we're the 7th or 6th largest economy in the world in the G7, this and that." We're so far in debt in Canada, okay? That's why we're paying all these taxes. That's why the carbon tax is out there, everything else, right? Because when you're giving money to a country like Bangladesh the other day, $275 million, just to Bangladesh to study transgender reformation in really? Okay, and that's just a tip of the iceberg. Okay, we can't be giving our money away like this. It has to stop. It has to come to an end. There's got to be a point, okay? And Trump will, whatever, he's going to do whatever he's going to do in the United States, right? I give the guy credit. He's got lots of balls, and he really don't care. And he's going to crush Canada's economy. Okay, when you got Doug Ford out there saying, well, I talked to my friends, Governor Whitmer of Michigan, and then Governor Tampon Tim Walz of Wisconsin, whoever the other douchebag is in New York. I could tell you this much. When you're talking to Mitch McConnell and Schumer, while you're at it too, okay, and then you're going to talk to Trump. Trump don't like these people. Trump hates these people, okay? And now you're doing the same thing, and you're talking to these people like they're somebody. They're nobody. They're Democrats, okay? And they don't have any power in the United States of America. But their mouth. They got zero power. Okay, Trump won it all. Okay, he won it all. He won all the swing states. He won the House, he won it all. He won the seat, he won the Senate, okay? So he's got more power than any president I think's ever had in the United States of America. So he's going to do whatever he's going to do. But one thing is, I would not be getting information from his enemies and then going to sit down with them, and it just don't work that way, really. And then you got the liberals. Doug Ford's come right out and said, "Oh, we're going to get back there too. I met with Mark Carney, and he's a great guy, and I can't wait to do business with the, like, just shut the fuck up, really. Really, do your thing. You're going to grow balls. You're going to say you're going to do this and that. Then fucking do it. You don't need Carney or Schumer or Gretchen or Tampon Tim Waltz or any of these guys. Okay, they're irrelevant. They're out of the picture. Right? So he should have did his homework as a politician and found out who's on Trump's side and try and get next to those guys if you want a trade deal. Because if you try and get with the Democrats, you ain't getting shit. Michigan here, Mark Safe from Carpetbagger Mayor Pete running for the Senate. Yeah. Right, so he should have got together with people that are likewise with Trump. Instead, you're showing your true colors as a liberal Democrat, but you call yourself a conservative. Okay, they already have a jacket on all of you guys. America, okay, their intelligence, they know what Justin Trudeau is eating, fucking what he's going to eat tomorrow morning. They're already ahead of the ball game. They know about Doug Ford. They know about Dominic LeBlanc and Felipe Champlain or whatever the fucking little chihuahua. He knows about every one of them, okay? Their intelligence is 10 times better than Canada's, by the looks of it anyways, because when you look at Doug Ford, there is no intelligence there. If he would have did his homework, okay, he would have found out in a hurry that, hey, this is the way you got to proceed. And who's ever telling this guy what to do and directing Doug Ford, unbelievable. Yeah, Ford is a fake conservative, and now you're starting to hear shit about some election fraud that was going on. I don't think Doug Ford got all those votes. There's no fucking way in hell, really. I don't know anybody that voted for him, and I know a lot of people. Right? I even posted which way I went. Right, so there's a lot of shit going on right now, okay, and maybe that's what happened, man, when he had that phone call with Ludwig, and he went from fucking way up here, okay, about shutting the power off. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, like Joe Tough Guy, and then 4 hours later he was somber, looked like he was crying actually, and was a whole different tempo in his demeanor, right? He went from high to low very fast, right? So maybe they got shit on Doug Ford too, right? And that's what they do, right? They know exactly what's going on. They know what who Justin Trudeau is hanging out with, who Justin Trudeau's sleeping with. They know the same thing with Ford, with any of them in the wink of an eye, right? They got it all. So, they got 10 times better intelligence than Canada does when it comes down to spying on people and everything else, right? So he's got to watch what he's doing, that's for sure. So, like I said, they got a jacket on Doug Ford. They got one on all of them. And he's not going to vote or he's not going to do anything for this Liberal Party, period. He's not going to give any concessions, because for the last 8 years, you sat there calling the guy a Nazi, a rapist. Well, even Elizabeth May yesterday or 2 days ago was saying it on CPAC that the guy's a rapist, he's a Nazi, he's the devil, you name it, right? All fucked up and drunk, right? And then you expect concessions from somebody? I'll tell you, if you've been doing that shit to me for 8 years, and I became the president, and then all of a sudden you think we're buddy-buddy, we ain't fucking buddy-buddy. I'm fucking you, and I'm going to fuck you hard and fast, okay? And that's what's going on with the Liberal Party. So it don't matter. I'm Mark Carney guy, okay? Trying to play the good guy now. Apparently he fired Stephen Guilbeault. He's firing Stephen Guilbeault and Mark Miller, the immigration minister, Mark Miller, and the environmental minister, Stephen Guilbeault. They're gone. So he's trying to rebrand the Liberals as something good and this and that, and he's going to get rid of the carbon tax. He's a fucking snake. For every puppet, there's a puppet master. Okay, and for Mark Carney, he is the puppet master. He's the guy who's been pulling the fucking strings on Justin Trudeau and the rest of these fags, okay, the whole time, period. That's it, right, for him. And now it's all being exposed. His businesses that he moved to the United States to evade the tariffs, okay, and then other things, other businesses that he shuffled across the Caribbean to hide money and not pay taxes. And this is our next prime minister. He gets sworn in tomorrow. Good luck, pal. You know what I mean? I'm not saying Pierre Poilievre's any better, but I'm going to give the guy a fucking shot. Really, I am. And and I hope everybody else does too. Just get these guys out. And if Pierre don't stand up to what he said he was, then we got 48 months before something happens, right? But give the guy a shot. He seems to me like he'd be able to get better along with Donald Trump. What I don't like about Pierre Poilievre is he's not getting out on platforms. Okay, Joe Rogan asked him to come on, PBD asked him to come on, and he's not doing any of these podcasts, right? Now, that tells me one thing, he's got something to hide, or he'd be out there. If you have nothing to hide, then get in front of these guys and state the case, right? But he's not doing any of that. So, yeah, if I was in that position, yeah, I'd be doing them. I'd be doing Rogan. I'd be doing them all. I'd be doing whatever I got to do, right? So maybe he does have something to hide. Now, the only thing I can see that he has something to hide is he is an orphan of Ukrainian descent, and he was raised by Adam and Steve. Okay, and that's maybe whatever. I really don't care. He could be raised by Adam and Steve in Ukrainian descent. Get out there and fucking state your case on the, and that's what they have. You know what I mean? Rogan's not gonna bring you on if you don't have dirt on you too, right? He wants to know it all, right? Like they do their due diligence before you go on the show. Vince Perry's in the house. No talk about China tariffs. What's up with that? And you know what, Vince Perry? I've been saying it. I've been saying it since they dumped the tariffs on Canada. 100% tariffs on Canada from China. We're not hearing any of that. We're hearing, oh, now if you're a craft beer brewery guy and you buy your cans from the States, now it's going to cost you. So we're going to bring them from China. 100% tariffs from China. Ford has no legal right to shut off hydro. Right. I believe that's true, and that's probably what they told him. Hey, you play that, you're going to be sued. You're going to sue Ontario and everything else. I think that Elizabeth May needs to be sued, period, for defamation. The shit that she was spewing yesterday is just disgusting, right? And she has no right even sitting where she is. So we're going to go up. Kate Siegel, Zagots, we got snakes and Fetterman here in the States. He's been trying to play both sides, but he's a bleeding liberal, 100% Fetterman. Do you remember Fetterman? The guy who had a stroke, and he was like, and he still ran, and he still won. Where was that, Pennsylvania or somewhere, East Coast? What a joke. Tanya Fowler, yeah, she's a complete joke. Elizabeth May, she needs to go. Jagmeet Singh's another one. Okay, get out of here, really. I can't wait for the next election just to see them all get disseminated. And now all the liberals are making a comeback. It's elbows up and F the 51st state and everything else. Listen, vote the way you're going to vote, but if you vote liberal back in, expect nothing at the end of the day, right? Me, I'll get my waiver and I'll go work in Detroit for my company if they move that way, right? No problem. A lot of other people, they're not going to have that choice. They're going to be starving in the streets, and they'll have nothing, and they're going to fucking like it. Yeah, gearing up for an endorsement from Trump in the midterms. That's what they're doing, yeah. Don't trust any Democrats or liberals. They're all scumbags. Mark Miller is gone, right? So apparently Mark Carney's trying to reshuffle the cabinet here when he gets sworn in tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see because it's as the puppet master, which he is. It's all the same fucking characters that we had yesterday. Okay, Justin Trudeau will be somewhere there. Don't you worry. He's not gone. Right? It's all going to be like an illusion, right? Now you see me, now you don't. So read some comments here. Send out the comments if you want them read. Louise Paquette, Pierre Poilievre is the only way to vote. Right, I'm not going to sit here because I don't know anything about Pierre Poilievre. Okay, I know he's a conservative. He was under the Harper, and I really like what he says and how he eats his apples. And, all of a sudden he went from skinny weasel to, I don't know, he must have shot some steroids or something, but he got all jacked up really fast, right? And I don't know nothing about him. That's why Pierre Poilievre needs to get in front of these podcasts. Who's ever advising Pierre Poilievre, he's a great speaker. He's a great politician. Get in front of these podcasters and state your case, right? Don't do the Stephen Colbert and that other goofball there from the States. Don't be doing shows like that, right? Donald LeBlanc's in the house. Hello. Same shit, just different pile, right? You're gonna get probably less peanuts in a pile of Pierre Poilievre shit than what we have in Carney. That's for sure. You're a proud Canadian, 51st state. Yeah, well, that's another thing. He wants to become Canada become a 51st state. Well, throw out the plan. Let people know the plan, right? Yeah, Pierre on Joe Rogan would be legendary, right? How can you say no to these guys? And Joe Rogan's a fan of Pierre Poilievre, okay? So why would you do the show, right? And answer the questions on what you're going to do for Canada, right? And get it out there. PBD's another one. I love the shows. Really, these podcasters out there. There's some great ones here in Canada. Northern Perspectives one. Jasmine Lane's another one. I like her. They're spot on, right? There's all kinds of them in Canada, right? Off the top of my head. Mr. Sunshine Baby, if you're into that, watch that. The Pleb, watch that. Shit, there's all kinds of them, right? So I get to watch all kinds. Canada's bigger than 10 provinces, so add 10 more states. Well, there has to be a plan in place, right? Everybody in this 51st state shit, that's not. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Put 51st on the ballot? You need somebody to run for the 51st. So you got to get it out there on how you're going to go about it, right? And there's no plan for it, so I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, Carney's been wrong about everything, man, really. Yeah, Northern Perspective's great, man. I liked it when it was Cypher and Fox, okay? And they have their faces covered. It was like a radio talk show, okay? And they couldn't show their faces because one worked for the government, the other one didn't. They didn't want to get exposed, right? So, but the government exposed them and they fired him, okay? They fired the guy from Northern Perspective, and right? So then he said, "Fuck it, I'm not covering my face anymore. I'm not incognito," and he came out, right? Great show. Alberta wants to join the U.S. I'm hearing it a lot. You would not believe the silent. You would think, okay, that the 51st is a minority. The people that are silent on it. That's crazy that I hear it all the time from people that don't go out. They're not online and say, just get it done. What's going to happen is going to happen, right? There's nothing we could do about it. And people that are saying, oh, we'll stand up, we'll fight. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I don't see these guys that are out there that are all about protecting Canada from the 51st state, shutting down the borders or protesting in the streets or having parades, like a pride parade, Canada, right? Yeah, pride parade, we'll call it that. In the streets, marching, the bands going. I don't see any of that shit, the flag waving. Right, they're saying Canadian pride's up to 86%. I'm proud to be a Canadian. Right, you'd rather be with the U.S. than China, Louise says. Right, and a lot of people are there too. I don't want to become China. I want to become Canadian. I want to stay Canadian, but by the looks of it, we keep getting these governments in that just keep sinking us even farther and farther and farther, right? So if Pierre don't do what he says, we're in deep shit, really. And when America's $37 trillion in debt, and so what? They're going to do what they're going to do. They're on the fucking verge of bankruptcy. 37 trillion is a lot of money, folks. And you just can't keep printing it, right? So that's what's going on in America. And they, to come out and say that we're on the verge of bankruptcy sounds like defeat, right? And nobody wants to say that I'm going to claim bankruptcy. So America needs us more than we need them, actually. Because what do we have? We got over 37 trillion just in minerals right here in Canada, right? And counting, which could go a long way with America, right? So it's not, they're in for it for something, right? And that's what they want. They want something. They're not doing it for nothing or even putting it out there, right? And when you got 80% of the population living 100 miles from the U.S. border, right across Canada, from Vancouver to the East Coast, right? A lot of people are already speaking Yankee Doodle Dandy. I know Sean Holmes ain't speaking Yankee Doodle Dandy. I know where he stands on it. But they say Canada's not for sale. Well, who owns us? The British. Who will sell us? The British. The carbon tax is determining determining us Canadians. Yeah, that's another thing. Carney says the carbon tax will be done as soon as he's prime minister. So tomorrow, when he's sworn in as prime minister, the carbon tax, the consumer carbon tax, okay, I'll explain it to you, will be gone tomorrow. But there'll be the industrial carbon tax, which we won't be paying it as individually on everything that we pay. It'll be the big companies that are paying it. That'll just shuffle it down to us in the end. Okay, so we're going to be paying it regardless. So you could call it whatever he wants. Just don't call it blue magic. Okay, I don't like when people rebrand my shit and call it blue magic and then put it out on the street. And guess what? Remember that show? Nick Kuchme, remember that show? Denzel Washington, what was it? Bumpy Johnson and what was the name of the movie? Blue Magic. Canada is a fucking Titanic and it's going down fast. It is. And if you don't think so, well, just stick around and watch, okay? The writing's on the wall. It's on the wall. If Canada could stand on two legs, they would shut down the border and go, fuck you, America. But they can't. And if America really wanted to get nasty, they could shut down the border and say, fuck you, Canada. And in 1 month, when people can't afford shit, okay, and they can't afford the $500 a week grocery fucking bill that I pay, okay, people start speaking Yankee Doodle Dandy in a fucking hurry when that happens. Yeah, they don't own us. You're right on that one. But I'll tell you what, if we're so strong, which our government says our economy is so strong and we're doing so good in Canada, then why can't we stand on our own fucking 2 feet, Sean? Why are they all worried like puppets? Yes, Nick Kuchme, American gangster, blue magic. You can call it whatever you want, right? Just don't call it fucking blue magic. Don't call it fucking blue magic. If I'm going to rebrand something, don't call it, you can call it dog shit all you want. Just don't call it fucking blue magic. Canada's being sold to China piece by piece. Yeah, slowly but surely. And Nora's in the real estate business, and I'd love to sit down and talk with Nora. She used to change my diapers when I was a baby, by the way. When my mom and dad split up, I was just an infant, maybe a year old, less than a year old, not even toilet trained yet. And she took me into her house, her and my cousin Alan she was dating, and she actually turned me into part of the man that I am today. She toilet trained me. So when my wife says, why do I always sit down on the toilet when I take a piss? Well, that's not because of Nora. That's because of all the times I sat in prison, because you don't piss in prison standing up, okay? You just don't, because splashing everywhere else. That's how fist fights happen in the joint, right? So I sit on the toilet, and I brought that home, and I always sit on the toilet. So there's never piss on the toilet seat from this cat. And Nora didn't teach me that. That's just respect while you're in the joint. So if you're ever there, okay. Did you like my blue magic there, Anne Margaret? Come on, Sean, say something. My hubby calls Canada a wannabe nation. And you know what? We're a laughing stock in the face of everybody. And, really we are. And if you don't see it, then, haha, I'm laughing at you. Okay, because everybody's laughing at us. And the reason why, it's not the Canadian people. We're good people here. It's the governments that we've had running this shitbag shit show, okay, that have ruined what we have and what we always had. It was... Man, there was a time in my life I was proud. I put on my combat fucking uniform, okay? And there was a time I would have went to war for this country, really. Now, fuck yeah. That's the last thing I'd do for this country. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to fight a war for a bunch of fucking liberal trans-Tifa motherfuckers that are running this country, right? And that's what they are. They could get in the uniform. They could go do the dirty. American gangster. Did you guys like that? Was it a good impression? You peed on Cheerios. Yeah, so you taught me to pee standing up, right, Nora? I don't remember any of it. I was just in diapers, right? Coming out of diapers. Canada's people got sold out to India. We got sold out to everybody. First, the British, okay? The British. And they've been taking a piece out of our fucking ass ever since, okay? Ever since. We still pay homage and money goes to fucking Britain for what? I don't know. We don't see Britain standing up for Canada, do we? No, you're not hearing a word. Just like the tariffs in China, right? The Chinese want Canada. They want Canada for one reason. So they could get here, in which they already have their army already here training in Canada, okay, and they got Chinese police stations, and they're buying up all the real estate. Why? Because they'd like to invade fucking America someday. And as a Canadian, I'm not going to let that happen. Do you think the Canadian government's going to give us the weapons to fight the Chinese when they decide this? No, they're taking the weapons away. So I'd rather be with somebody who's going to eventually, who can actually help us in the end, right? Because the end's almost here. Yeah, Britain is lost. We're fucked. Sean Holmes says we fucked because of the clowns that I've destroyed in the last 10 years. If they get voted in again, I'm out. Well, you know what, Sean? It hasn't been going on for 10 years. It's been going on for almost 30 years. It's been going on since Pierre Elliott Trudeau, and you had the John Turner, and then the Mulrooney, and then you had fucking Jean Chrétien, and then what's the other guy from Windsor, from my hometown? What was his face? He was the prime minister. And then we had the Harper, and then the Trudeau, right? So it's been going on for a long time, and they've been taking a piece out of everybody's ass to the point where, guess what? I got no more ass. I'm down to the bone. I'm down to the bone on my ass, really. You can only take so much, right? So as you see, I took the night off work. I'm gonna play in my garden. I sprayed my fruit trees today with the oil and the what was the other stuff? The lime. So I don't have any issues with my fruit trees. But I'm going to turn soil today. So Nora's in real estate. Now listen to this, guys. China owns 1/3 of the property in Vancouver, and that's 1/3 is 33.3%, folks. If you don't know your fractions, 33.3% and counting. And they've overinflated the market in Vancouver. They've overinflated the market in Toronto. And they've overinflated the market everywhere in Canada, even Windsor. You're ass-born, man. You're ass-boned. Yeah, if you hang out your ass-bone, the government will take it. They'll tax it. America borrowed, Debbie Napier says, America borrowed from China. They have owned a big part of America for years. Yes. And Americans are starting to wake up to it, right? That's why you have this MAGA movement, because the left, the Democrats, were fucking letting China right in the back door. Here, fly your fucking balloons. Oh, we can't see those with NORAD or anything. We don't know how to shoot them down. We'll just let the balloons fly. Really? You try and fly a balloon over China, an American or North American balloon over China. It's not going to make it over the China Sea. You're at work 7 days a week so I can live the way I want to live and save the bullshit. Yeah, well, things could come to an end, Sean. They take away the auto industry. You know, we got all the tools. Okay, you're in the same business as me. Been at it for 33 years, and I'm just starting to catch on to my job, that is, right? I'm just starting to figure it out. It took 33 years, imagine that. And I still don't know what I'm doing. But the big three closes. Okay, we're in the tooling business. Yeah, we're ahead of, we're into the new models 2027. Okay, so we're doing tools for 2027. Okay, it's only a matter of time before we catch up, and then that's it. See you later. They got their contract signed. There's probably no way of getting out of it unless you're like the company I work for. I'm not going to say here, but they're an American company with multiple American businesses where they could just pack up ship and just take all the work over there and say, screw it, right? They can do that tomorrow. That's their prerogative, right? And then I'll be out of work. just as fast as the big three. So times are changing, guys. I'm not worried about it. If I was worried about it, I'd go to work today. I could give 2 squirts of piss about what's really going to happen. I'll just let you know. I really don't. I really don't care. Just don't call it blue magic. Kevin Westphal, and if you don't know who Kevin Westphal is, he's an inspiring country music star, Canadian. And if you go look up his name on YouTube and look at his work, some outstanding work. He's got the 401 song. He's got the 420 song. He's got a bunch of country western songs. He's out of this side of Toronto, Kitchener area. Check out his stuff. And he says, I also think Trump will fuck with us until our election is over. Well, he wants an election. He can't deal with these birds, okay? As much as I can't deal with these birds, he can't deal with them. And he won't deal with them, and he shouldn't deal with them. You don't do a lot of automotive. 90% of what we do is over there. The same boat as you, bro. Yeah, well, this thing with our company, we're into the automotive, we're into the medical, we're into the military contracts, the aerospace, all that crap too, right? It's not just where I'm at. We're the automotive, mainly automotive, right? But with the flick of a switch, they can say, oh yeah, forget the automotive. Let's start cutting Invar for the carbon fiber Boeing 747s or whatever they want to do, right? I've been there, I've done that. Remember that Invar was 85% nickel. Cutting this stuff was just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And the chips coming off the floor, nickel, 85% is valuable, right? So they would put the bins right in the shop because guess what? If they didn't, people would be walking out with pockets full of nickel. Or trying to, right? But try and get rid of it, try and offload it at any scrapyard around here. They'd be going, yeah, right. You know, who's doing that? Only a certain few shops cut it right. I cut it for a couple years. Nasty. So, yeah, stay tuned. There's nothing really happening. Like I said, you got Ford and you got the Dominic LeBon and whoever else down there in Washington, and nothing's happening. And if it did happen, they're not saying anything. So I don't expect anything to come from the meeting. Trump's not even giving them the time of fucking day. Yeah, enough politics. Hit that bong. Yeah, time for the bong. No, I got to go dig up my garden. I can't do that shit all half pie-eyed. Can't do it. Just can't do it. Not at this age. I hit the bong. I just want to lay back and watch TV. You know what I'm going to watch tonight? I'm going to watch American Gangster. Because like I said, fuck, you could call your shit whatever you want. Just don't call fucking blue magic. You could call it dog shit. Just don't call it blue magic. Hello. Oh, hi, Shantae. How are you?
Hi, where's your kitty cat?
I'm doing a Facebook Live. My kitty cat? Which one? The blind one?
I need the cat.
Your son was telling me you were making me cabbage rolls tonight. Is that true?
No, probably not, because I'm leaving for Niagara Falls, but I'll make them, don't worry.
You little bullshitter, Isaac. Come here, man. Get on my Facebook Live. Come here.
No.
Oh, yeah, everybody wants to see Isaac. You guys want to see Isaac?
No, they don't. Type in the chat. They want to see me.
Come on, your grandpa said get over here.
Yeah.
You're looking real sophisticated with those glasses on.
I look intelligent, eh?
No.
I'm blind. Come here. Get in here.
We know you're blind.
There's Isaac, man. And you bullshitted me, man. You said your mama was making me some cabbage rolls today.
I know, no,
Where's your
no.
fat, bro?
Can you tell us about blue magic? Do you know anything about blue magic, boy?
Blue magic?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And rebranding? You don't know
No.
nothing about blue magic? Okay,
I don't
well,
like blue magic.
you better not know anything about blue magic. I catch you watching them shows. You know anything about blue magic, Shantae?
Yeah.
American
My
Gangster?
dad does.
I didn't watch that.
My dad watched it.
Hi, Junie.
I gotta go, guys, but that's the way it is. Enjoy your day. I thought I'd come on. I'm going to play in the garden, get my shit done. Bye-bye.